Shalom Yashrala. Shalom Yahawada. Brother Malak back with a biblical lesson. This one is dubbed Babylon. Babylon, Babylon, Babylon. Babylon will be destroyed. It's prophesied. It's prophesied. It's prophesied. Sulak Yashral. Jeremiah 51. Thus said the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind, and will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. That's World War III. That's the third woe, the third world woe. And will send into Babylon. What is the new Babylon? Obviously, the old Babylon was eradicated. The new Babylon is America. Really, America is all of the past kingdoms. It's spiritually Babylon. It's spiritually Egypt. It's spiritually Rome. It's spiritually Persia, Greece, Sodom and Gomorrah. It's spiritually all of these old wicked kingdoms. Verse 2, and will send unto Babylon fanners. Those sound like the missiles. How is these old texts, these old ancient scrolls prophesying these things? Because that's the power of whom the world ignorantly calls God. Yahweh in the ancient Paleo Hebrew. Jeremiah, verse 3, against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up in his, it's a tough word there. I don't want to butcher it. What is it? Brigadine or something along that measure. And spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her host. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in her streets. For Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah of his God, of the Lord of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. Flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man, woman for that matter, child for that matter. Flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity. For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. Babylon has been the golden cup in the Lord's hand. And you wonder why America has been on a moral decline, financial decline, just declining everywhere. I'm not going to even really get into the specifics. If you live here, then you know, then you see. It's on a super decline. Really, this place doesn't have a long time left, according to prophecy. This is why these devils are moving pretty quick with their little, NWO. It says, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity. For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render into her recompense. Babylon has been a golden cup. Yahweh has allowed for this place and all the other places with the mindset and the doctrines and the ideologies and philosophies and etc. and so on. He has allowed these regions to build iniquity upon themselves. That's why it has been a golden cup in his hand that made all of the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad, because they finally see that this place was deceiving, deception, hence brick nation, hence all of the world leaders and whatnot and what they're doing. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How? For her, take balm for her pain. If so be she may be healed. If so be she may be healed. Babylon. New Babylon. America. And any other region with the mindset as the new Babylon. It's Babylon. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country. For her judgment reach into heaven, and is lift up even to the skies. Make bright the arrows. Those bright arrows. Salak. Make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord have raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes for his devices against Babylon to destroy it. Because it is the vengeance. Say that again for the third time. Because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple. Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon. Make the watch strong. Set up the watchmen. Prepare the ambushes. For the Lord hath both devised and done that which he spoke against the inhabitants of Babylon. O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thy end is come. And the measure of your covetousness, the Lord of hosts hath sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men as with caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee. He hath made the earth by his power, he hath established the world by his wisdom, and he stretched out the heaven by his understanding. Dropping down to verse 24 of Jeremiah 51. It says, and I will render into Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea all their evil that they have done, and Zion and your sight, said the Lord. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, says the Lord, which destroys all the earth, and which stretch out my hand upon thee and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain. And they shall not take of thee a stone for a corner, nor a stone for foundations, but thou shalt be desolate forever, said the Lord. Set ye up a standard in the land, blow the trumpet among the nations. Prepare the nations against her, call together against her. The kingdoms of Arat, many, these are some ancient names, so I might butcher them. This is appoint a captain against her. Cause the horses to come up as the rough caterpillars. Prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes, the captains thereof, and all the rulers thereof, and all the land of his dominion. And the land shall tremble in sorrow, for every slach, for every purpose of the Lord shall be performed against Babylon. Who is Babylon today? Babylon is, in fact, by biblical prophecy, by the signs of the times, by the things that's taking its course, we can identify with these future prophecies that America is New Babylon. America is New Egypt. America is New Rome. America is New Sodom and Gomorrah all over again. Regeneration. And ultimately, this, which makes this current kingdom special, and that's really not, I'm really not giving New Babylon praise when I say that. I'm making a point. Which makes this kingdom so special is that it's so damn dirty and filthy that it has all of the old kingdoms tied up in it. Like I said, it is old. It is the old Rome. It is the old Egypt. It is the old Sodom and Gomorrah. It is the old Babylon. It is the old Persia and whatnot. It is all the kingdoms wrapped in one. This is why this destruction of this place is going to be so huge. It's going to be huge. Verse 29, Jeremiah 51. And the land shall tremble in sorrow, for every purpose of the Lord shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without an inhabitant. The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might have failed. They became as women. They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken. To show the king of Babylon that his city is taken at one end. For thus said the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, the daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor. It is time to thresh her. Yet a little while, and the time of her harvest shall come. And that harvest, the time of Babylon's harvest, that harvest is surely approaching. And these devils know this. You know, your fake elitists, they know. You know, it was just a couple of months back, they had the, the world's doomsday clock, 5 minutes to 12 or 4 minutes to 12, whatever. Then you see all the signs taking its course throughout the earth. You know these prophecies, they speak true. They speak true. Meanwhile, they have every other soul and whatnot distracted on whatever they have them distracted on. And that's what, that's has always been a great mechanism that this devil has used. Distractions. Think about it. In every kingdom was always the distractions or the mortal. As the scriptures say, put away the mortal thoughts. It was always the distractions and the mortal thoughts that people were occupied in. And Yahweh has always sent his servants, the apostles, the prophets, the servants or whatnot. I'd rather be called a servant than a prophet. Prophet seems like it's just more it seems more, it holds more weight to me, so I'd rather say servant to be humble. But when you think about it, what are we? What are these brothers in the faith and these sisters in the faith? What are we then? If we're bringing out prophecies, hint, hint, if we're bringing out what's to come out of these ancient scrolls, and we're measuring them up with the times or with the signs of the times or the signs of the times, then I gather we are prophets and even prophetess. But I still would rather be called a servant. I'd rather keep it humble as possible. But when you look at it in hindsight, I guess we are the prophets coming back, right? I mean, it only makes sense. Revelations 18, verse 4. Well, verse 3. Babylon is fallen. Babylon will be thrown down. These are the titles of these specific chapters. It says, for all nations have drunken of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. How did all the nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication? Those are the ideologies, the doctrines, the mentality. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. Agreements, treaties, buying, selling, shipping, merchandising. Committed for I'll start back at 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Revelations 18. Precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. Notice we had one witness in Jeremiah 50:51, and then we had another witness in Revelations 18 about Babylon. Revelations 18:4, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people. Now this is to the Israelites. This is to Israel. People may not want to conceive that or receive that, but this is to Israel. His people has always been the 12 tribes of Israel, the house of Israel. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come up out of her, my people, the house of Israel, that you be not partakers of her sins, That is the ways of Babylon. That is all. That's basically what it is. The mentality, the ways, and what's set to come, which is coming down the pike. You know, this mark of the beast system. You know, that's going to be something huge as well. It could be the next big prophecy. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come up out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues, because you're going to receive a plague once you take that. Definitely going to receive a plague once you take that mark, because then you're serving, as the scripture says in Matthew. I believe that's Matthew 6:24. You cannot serve God or, you cannot serve, two masters, basically. You'll either love the other one and hate the other one, or hate the other one and love the other one. You cannot serve God and mammon. And I heard another voice, Salak, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come up out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached into heaven, and God has remembered her iniquities. Remember, she has been that golden cup in his hand. So that's all the way from where Christopher Cologne or Columbus or Dumbo, Christopher Dumbo, I'll call him that, from all the way to the old Babylon, and even all the way up to now, to this modern time within this new Babylon. For her sins have reached into heaven, and God has remembered her iniquities. Mass incarceration, segregation, police brutality, redlining, gentrification, lying, murdering, raping, robbing, pillaging. For all of the sins have reached into heaven, and God has remembered her iniquities. Verse 6, reward her even as she rewarded you. And that's really talking to Israel. If you read these ancient scrolls, then you will know. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. And the cup which she have filled to her double. How much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her, for she says in her heart, I sit as a queen, and I am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Because no one has been able to really take out, sweet America. So she's, it's basically saying she's prideful. Babylon is prideful. Think about it. I mean, when you think about it, America is prideful. They have a whole month that's called Pride Month. I mean, when you put these pieces and puzzles together, it all comes out. It all comes out. Verse 8 of Revelations 18. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day. Death, mourning, famine. We see all of this happening. At least with the famine and death and mourning. Well, you see it. You see it. You see it. You see the death. You see the mourning. You see the famine. You see all of this stuff taking its course. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord God who judgeth her. And that's eventually going to be the conclusion of the matter. World War III, a third world woe. It's all coming down the pike. It says, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. standing afar off from the fear of her torment, saying, at last, that great city Babylon, the mighty city, for in 1 hour is your judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise any more. Revelations 18:4. And the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which were danity and godly or goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. The merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off from the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, and saying, at last, the great city that was clothed in fine linen, and purple and scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. Because, everyone wants to come to New Babylon. They all believe it is the land of opportunity, and it's amazing, and it's this and it's that. But as the saying goes, it's not always green on the other side, or however the saying goes. The grass is not always green on the other side. You know how the saying goes, Yashra'Allah, Yahawada. And those that's listening. It says, and the fruits that your soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which were danity and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. The merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off from the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, saying, at last, the great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. And how did New Babylon, get those riches? Through rape, robbing, pillaging, lying, deception, deceiving. That's how this place got its riches. Off the back of the chosen children. So this is why that karma is coming. This is why the karma is coming. This is why the karma is coming. And everybody knows it's coming. It's not like we're just spewing nonsense. Everyone knows it's time for sweet old Babylon to pay. What is it? To pay the piper. However that saying goes. The roosters have come home to roost. All those good old sayings. Revelations 18, revelations. What does revelations mean, or the root word? It means to reveal, revelations, reveal. Revelations 18:18, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, at last, the great city, wherein we were made rich, all that had ships in the sea, by reason of her costliness, for in 1 hour is she made desolate. You see, you hear. It's all right here in these ancient scrolls. These ancient scrolls do not lie. These ancient scrolls cannot lie, for it is the word of the living, breathing God, Yahweh. And who's going to be happy when this new Egypt, new Sodom and Gomorrah, new Rome, new Babylon falls? Well, it tells you, Revelations 18:20, rejoice over her, thou heavens, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for God has avenged you on her. Vengeance is Yahweh's. Vengeance is the Lord's. And that's really what's coming down the pike. And the more and more time dwindles on down, the closer and closer we get. You know, I like the way this young lady put it, the season finale. We're heading into the season finale. You know, two major prophecies, big prophecies, World War III and the Mark of the Beast. These are the two major big prophecies left. The ancient scrolls. The ancient scrolls. And then you know we're really close, because you have these heathen, Ammon and Moab, trying to change the course of this ancient scrolls. That is forbidden. You have these Asians trying to change the course of the ancient scrolls, trying to rewrite the Bible, for that is forbidden. That's forbidden, right? No, that's forbidden. Bear with me, Yasharallah. I'll get to it. Revelations, verse 8. It's verse 18 and verse 19, but it's the chapter 22. Revelations 22, verse 18 and 19. It says, "For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of this prophecy of this book, if any man shall add unto these things, God shall add unto them the plagues that are written in this book," these ancient scrolls. Verse 19, "And if any man shall take away from the words of this book, of this prophecy, God shall take away his part out of the book of life, and out of the holy city, and from the teachings, Salak, and from the things which are written in this book." So here you have these heathen trying to rewrite the book, trying to rewrite the courses taken that's supposed to take place. You know, China. I just read to you what's going to happen to them, or anyone that adds and takes away from this book. This is how you know the judgment is coming upon the other nation of heathen. Those that took the Apocrypha out of the Bible. You know, your Bible destruction group. Your Bible destruction group. I believe that's their name. That's more judgment coming. You know, these ancient scrolls are realer than you think. They're realer than you think. And these devils know this. And when I say that, I'm speaking of these devils that's in these, you know, high places. You know, your Zionist. These Zionist devils. They know because they deal with the left hand. But I wanted something else. I wanted out of these ancient scrolls. I wanted Isaiah 34, because ultimately New Babylon is really being destroyed because what it has done to the children of Israel. That's really why Babylon is going to really get a nice taste of Yahweh's wrath, because what they have done time and time to the children of Israel, especially in this new Babylon. Isaiah chapter 34, it says, "For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them," and that will happen, as it happened in time past, and it's going to happen again in the future. "He hath delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood." This is all biblical prophecy to the wicked. And verse 4, and it says, "And all of the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll." Remember, it says that in Revelations too, precept upon precept. And it says, and all their hosts shall fall down, as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, now you have biblical scholars that know this. They know that Yahweh Shai, or Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, is coming back to a nation ruled by the king of Babylon, who is always the king of Babylon in these ancient scrolls. Well, for some strange reason, it always lines up with Edom being the king of these Babylonian type empires. Edom is always synonymous with Babylon for some strange reason. Well, it's not strange at all. It says, "For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, and upon the people of my curse to judgment." Idumea is Edom. I believe it's a Greek. It's a Greek translation. Idumea, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord has a sacrifice in Bozrah. Bozrah is a capital. It is a capital city in Mount, I believe in Idumea, or Mount Seir, one of them. I could be mistaken, but it's definitely a capital in the land of the ancient Edomites, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. "And the unicorn shall come down with them, and the bulls with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made fat with fatness." Why is all this taking place? Why? Why so angry? Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Why are you so angry? Well, the nations have deliberately disobeyed his laws, statutes, and commandments. They do that on a daily. They have deliberately raped, robbed, murdered, pillaged, lied, deceived, and continue to antagonize Yahweh's people. If it's not on a physical level, it's on a spiritual level. If it's not on a spiritual level, it's on a financial level. Basically, these heathen nations have continued to oppress the children of God. And it may not be you average Bud Light drinking, Newport smoking, country music listening, Super Bowl loving, Edomites or heathen, if you will. But it is the 1%. It is those that are in the know. It is the movers and shakers of this wicked society, these Zionists, that I may add, Yahweh has put them in power. Daniel 4:17, Proverbs 21, 1-2. Yahweh has put everyone in their position. So let's not get it twisted on why they have the power, because God gave it to them. Yahweh has given it to them. But I kind of digress. But these Zionists, they know who the real people are. You can't tell a lie unless you know the truth. You can't tell a lie unless you know the truth. And this is why they have, whitewashed everything. First Maccabees 3:48. The world is given into the hand of the wicked. Job 9:24. So these Zionists, they know who the children of Israel are. And they know what we are saying is the truth of truth. You can't run from the Russian icons. You can't run from the Voronet icons. You can't run from which you people call the Dark Ages, in which the Israelites sat on their throne as Yahweh intended it to be. When the wicked rule, the people mourn. Roughly paraphrase. When the wicked rule, the people mourn. These damn Edomites, these Zionists, these Amalekites, they don't even care about their own kind, let alone the rest of the nations. But that is why he's so angry. Why so angry, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai? That is why he's angry. It says that he will have war with Amalekite, or Amalek rather, from generation to generation. And if you look at the world today, then you can see why. Isaiah 34 verse 16, seek ye out of the book of the Lord, which is the ancient scrolls, which is the Bible, and read. No one of these shall fail. So these prophecies are going to come. They're already manifesting. None shall want her mate, for my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them. These things are it's not so much things, but these prophecies are going to continue to play out. Isaiah 63. As these, we are the biblical scholars. We understand the ancient scrolls. It's our book. It's our ancestors. It's our people. It's our stuff. So we understand it and comprehend it greatly. But you have even the people of what is it? You have I can't even pull out the words right now, but you have the Bible scholars. There you go. You have Bible scholars that stem from other nations, or from the heathen nations, I should say, because that's really what it is, that understand that Yahweh Shai, or Yahweh, if you will, he's coming for a specific nation that's going to be ruling. Yahweh is coming to destroy a kingdom. I don't know if we can call this a kingdom. It's more of a queendom. A queendom. Yahweh Shai is coming to destroy a queendom that is ruled by a specific heathen nation. And these biblical scholars and these heathen scholars, these biblical scholars of these heathen nations, they know this is true. And they know he's coming back to eradicate, because this is what the ancient scrolls state and speak. He's coming to eradicate a nation or a kingdom, if you will. He's coming to Yahweh Shai is coming to eradicate a kingdom that's ruled by a nation dubbed Edom. You can look this up. You can look this stuff up. This stuff is public knowledge. It's right there. The day of vengeance. Isaiah 63. Isaiah chapter 63. These biblical scholars know this. They understand this. And you wonder why they came up with their Space Force. If there's nothing coming from outer space, why are you creating a Space Force to defend something that's coming out of space, right? I mean, that would be the only conclusion of creating a Space Force, because you know something is coming from space, or what you call space, which the Bible calls the heavens. You know something is coming from the heavens to bring justice. And now you see all of these UFO Congress meetings and all of this. We have non-human biologics, or we have aliens, and they have landed and whatnot and whatnot. All of that is just propaganda and false deceptions, or false truths, deceptions, to hide you from what the ancient scrolls have spoken. Isaiah 63, who is this that comes from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save, wherefore art thou red in thy apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? I have trodden down the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me, for I will tread them in my anger and trample them in my fury. And don't get it twisted, Israel. You 2/3, you're going to be into this mix up as well. The 2/3 that's not taking heed to these prophecies, that don't understand who they are, that's not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of their ability, that's not preaching or prophesying, that's not doing the works, that's not repenting. They're going to be caught up in this mix-up as well. It says, I have trodden down the winepress alone, of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in my anger and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments. And I will stain all of my raiment, for the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. Who is his redeemed? It is the election. It is the elect out of the house of Israel. That is truly who the redeemed are. It is the election out of the house of Israel. And I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore my own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury it upheld me. And I will tread down the people in my anger, and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring them down their strength to the earth. Salak, and I will bring down their strength to the earth. Why so angry? Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. Hey, I'll be angry too. You have whitewashed. You know, you have whitewashed his people. You have whitewashed him. You have lied not only to the chosen people, the Israelites, but you have lied to the rest of the nations. You have deceived. You have raped, robbed, pillaged, deceive. You have made life vexing for everyone. All of the secret wickedness that you have done. Edom, Amalek, king of Babylon. All of the wickedness that you do. I guess he's mad. I guess he would be mad. Why so angry? Yahweh Shai Bahashim Yahweh. Or Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, rather. Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. They're one and the same anyway. Different entities, but they're one and the same. Father and the Son. Revelation 6:14 through 17. It says, well, I'll start at 13. It says, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree cast her untimely figs when she is shaken at a mighty wind. That kind of precept in the last chapter we were in, when it was talking about the fig shaking and whatnot. It says, in the heavens departed as a scroll when it rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places, and the kings of the earth, these Zionists, Edomites, these Amalekites, and all the rest of these false heathen powers, and even to you sellout Israelites, and even to you wicked Israelites, and the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men. That's why it don't matter if you're rich, if you're great, if you're mighty. It doesn't matter. I mean, this is going to explain it. It says, and the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and your little positions that you have in this world that surely passeth away. It says, and the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sits on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. Why so angry, Yahweh Shai? I think I get that from the Joker. I think that's one of the Joker's lines. Why so serious? I think that's the Joker. But I change it to why so angry. But why so angry? Yahweh Shai. It says, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. Who is that? Who is the Lamb? It is Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, the Son of Man, the Son of Yahweh, the Son of God, whom the world and whom the Christians ignorantly calls Christ Jesus, Jesus Christ. Yahawashai Hamashiach, a black man, a so-called black man, a so-called Negroid from the house of Judah, according to Revelations 5:5. Hebrews 7:13. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? And I guess he would, I guess, and when you think about it, I guess he would be, I guess he should be a angry so-called black man. Why wouldn't he be? Why wouldn't he not be a so-called angry black man? Why wouldn't he not be? When you think about it. For all that has been done, it only makes sense that he should be an angry black man coming back. It only makes sense. And with that, I want to say, Call Halayim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahawashai, Bahashem Rakakadash. All glory to the righteous powers that be. The ancient scrolls, the ancient scrolls, the ancient scrolls.